welcome back to my channel. For those that are new here, I am Danielle and I am so excited you all are here today. I am back today for another Just Talking video. I just wanted to get real with you guys and just be able to hang out and answer some questions that people have asked me and just be able to encourage you on your health journey. So for those that are new here, again, my name is Danielle. I lost 100 pounds doing Weight Watchers, now known as WW, and I love to encourage and inspire others in their health journey and just be able to help you to lose weight if that is what you're here for. I have some lovely tea, which I had last time I had talking, but I just love being able to have some tea and be able to talk with you guys. So one sec. Today I wanted to be able to talk about just some different weight loss tips that I have, and last week I talked about mindset and just making sure you have the right mindset. So if you missed that video, make sure you check it out down below. I'll link it for you. But today I wanted to talk about some practical ways to lose weight and what I have done to switch to be able to lose weight. I spent years and years and years trying to lose weight, and it took me forever to actually find the right tools. Honestly, mindset is my number one piece of advice, which is why I made a whole video about it, because it's so important to have the right mindset in order to be able to lose weight. So I do think that that is the most important piece of advice that I could give, but I have some other practical things that I wanted to be able to share with you guys. The first thing I recommend doing is starting out with a very high protein breakfast. So I've been posting some different recipes that I have loved and have been really helpful in my weight loss journey. One of my favorite high protein breakfasts is an egg bake, which I just made a video recently about how I make it. And so I will also post that video down below for you so that you can check that out if you're interested. But it's just hash browns and eggs, and then you can add in vegetables, which are 0 points, or you can add in meat, which is going to increase your protein a little bit, but also increase your points. I also absolutely love Kodiak pancakes. They have a lot of protein in them. I add extra eggs in them so that I can increase my protein. Protein is so important, and honestly, I initially thought maybe it was just a fad because I feel like these diet fads come and go all the time, and I know there's so much talk about protein, and so I thought initially that it was just a fad and that there wasn't like a ton of research behind it. I didn't know much about protein, to be perfectly honest. And so I looked into it when I first started trying to lose weight, just so that I knew what it was about. And protein is so important in weight loss, you guys. I found out that protein can increase your metabolism, which is what aids in losing weight. It also helps keep you full longer. It helps with muscle repair. It helps you build muscle. Obviously, you have to do some exercise with it as well to build muscle, but it helps aid in muscle strength and repair. It helps boost your metabolism. Who would have known that? That is so cool. So it helps increase how many calories you burn a day when you increase your protein intake. It helps regulate a lot of weight loss hormones, which I also didn't know. So that is why increasing your protein is super important, and it's super easy to do. So I found eggs are my biggest thing. Some people worry about cholesterol, but that's been proven to not be true. I am not a doctor, so don't take my advice there. But for me, eggs have been really crucial in helping me in my weight loss journey. So I add eggs to anything I can, and honestly, my cholesterol has not increased. I did do a before and after, and my cholesterol did not increase at all. And I was able to lose 100 pounds, which I think is super awesome. The next piece of advice I would have in weight loss is increasing water. And I know that that's gonna sound like I've heard that before, I'm aware of that, but honestly, increasing water helps with so much. It's gonna help you lose weight. If you are weighing yourself every day, you may notice the days that you increase your water, you are a little bit heavier. This kind of goes hand in hand, but don't weigh yourself every day. It is not gonna help you. You are not gonna lose 10 pounds in a day. Stop weighing yourself daily. That is not helpful for anyone. It just discourages you. It rarely is a good thing when you step on the scale. So I highly recommend stop weighing yourself daily, switch to weekly at the most. And honestly, even then, do a lot of non-scale victories, because it is so important to increase your water. In the long run, it is going to help you lose weight because it's going to help you stay full longer. And if you are thirsty, it's going to make your body feel like it's hungry. And so you're going to end up eating more calories and then end up gaining weight anyways. Water also helps just flush everything out in your body, and so it's just really good. Your body's made of mostly water, so it's very, very, very important to increase your water intake just for your overall health, but also to aid in weight loss. Another way you can increase your water is by flavoring it or doing sparkling water. So anything that doesn't have caffeine in it will help aid in weight loss and be really good for you. Caffeine is kind of one of those like double-edged swords for me. So I find when I increase my caffeine, I'm more hungry. And so I do end up eating more calories, which is what I'm trying not to do. And so for me, decreasing my caffeine is really important. I have coffee in the morning and then I try to limit my caffeine overall, but sometimes I will have a soda or two during the day. It just kind of depends on how my day is going and how much I was able to sleep that night, which leads me to my next point, sleep. Sleep is so important, you guys. Research has shown that increasing your sleep also helps aid in weight loss, which is kind of crazy, but it helps your body regulate itself and recover from everything that's going on inside of it and outside of it. It helps regulate your emotions, so then you aren't emotionally eating as often, and it helps you be not as hungry. And when you're sleep deprived, you're more hungry. So you're gonna eat more, you're gonna turn towards more sugary foods. And so it's really, really, really important to stay rested. One tip of advice someone gave me when I was postpartum with one of my babies, I don't know which one, but they said that even if you can't sleep, make sure you rest. And so just staying in bed, and even if your mind is wandering, making sure you rest because your body's getting that reset. And I think that's so important even for you, even if you aren't postpartum. And I try to do this myself now. Right now, I don't struggle too much with sleep just because I don't get a ton of it because of my children. But I would recommend, even if you can't sleep, making sure you lay in bed for as long as you can, your 6-8 hours, whatever you typically get for sleep. Mine's very dependent on what my kids let me sleep, but increasing sleep is so important in regulating your hormones, regulating your body, regulating your mind, and just making sure that you're in the best place that you can be to be able to lose weight. I know that I said this before, but changing your mindset is also really, really, really important for weight loss. And so making sure you're in the right place mentally. I have a whole video, like I said before, on this, and I talk about it a lot because I think mental health is so important. And I think weight loss isn't everything. Your self-worth and who you are as a person isn't dependent on how big you are or how much you weigh. So make sure that you aren't doing weight loss solely for self-worth, because it is not worth it. You are good enough the way you are, and I think it's so important to do weight loss just for your health and overall well-being. I do think I've been able to be so much happier after losing weight because I'm able to keep up with my kids and I just feel better overall, but it doesn't determine my worth. I'm not a better person now that I've lost 100 pounds than I was before. I just want to make sure you guys know that who you are as a person is the same no matter what size you are. So a little bit of a spiel from me, but I will post my video down below on mindset because I think making sure you're in the right place mentally is super, super, super important in weight loss. I know there's also been a lot of talk and studies on intermittent fasting. For me personally, I totally get the health benefits from it, but I end up binging. I have binge eating disorder, and if I don't eat every 2 to 3 hours, I end up binging, end up eating more, and it's just not helpful overall. And so for me, I don't recommend fasting, but honestly, everyone should do their own research and see what works for you. I find that I am less hungry at night overall, and I crave less sweets when I do eat every 2 to 3 hours. So for me, I would highly recommend eating every 2 to 3 hours, making sure you never get to the point of being super hungry, and then you'll choose healthier, wiser foods overall. At least that's what my experience has been. And along with that, just making sure you have protein every 2 to 3 hours, just because that will help aid in weight loss, help your metabolism, and just overall help you crave less sweets, which is really nice in weight loss. This kind of goes with mindset, but another thing I recommend is making sure that you have everything in moderation. It was really helpful for me to know that I don't have to restrict foods in order to lose weight, and so I can have everything. It's just a matter about planning it and just working the points into my day. So I do Weight Watchers, and so I count points, but this works for calories or for anything. But if I want pizza in the evening, I just will have lower points in the beginning of the day. Or if I want to go out with some friends, I'll have lower points later. It just kind of goes back and forth of just making sure you know that you can have everything. It's just nothing is off the table. You can have anything at any point. It's just a matter of planning it and maybe adjusting what you have during the other parts of the day. When I think about restricting, then I end up binging on it when I do have the opportunity. And so I would hoard food, which I know sounds so crazy, but if I saw donuts or something, I would take multiple and be like, oh, I'll have them later. And then I'd end up eating all of them when I got alone and defeated the whole point. And so now I know I can have a fourth of a donut and be super content with it. It's crazy how if you just split it up a little bit, it, you end up just as satisfied as if you had 5. If not, you feel a little bit better because you feel proud of yourself for being able to just stop at a 4th and being happy with it. Actually stopping, savoring the flavor, enjoying it, slowing down, not just hoarding all of it so that you can have everything. I actually enjoy the flavor and the taste, and I just slow down while I'm eating, and I'm so satisfied. It's shocking, but just slowing down and knowing that you can have the food, it's not off the limits. Even if you're over your points, if it's gonna keep you from binging later and keep you on track, overall, go over your points. It's okay. It's better to have a 1/4 of a donut than 10 donuts, which is what I would do because I would restrict myself and tell myself I can't have it. And so again, going from I can't to I can and just planning for it. Along with that, I recommend having the foods that you tend to binge on if you are a binger and not keeping them in the house. So for me, it's chips. I cannot keep chips in my house. I just bought 3 bags, and guess who just ate 3 bags? Me. I just can't have chips in the house. I don't know why, but I just end up eating them all. I got chips that my kids don't love, and I ate them all within a week, which it is what it is. I learned from my mistakes, and it's just something that I want to give you guys advice on, is that you can have anything at any point, but maybe you have to buy single servings and write the point values on it. Or maybe it's just a special treat when you go out to eat, or you can stop and get a single serving bag when you're craving it. But I highly recommend making sure those foods, if it's brownies, cookies, sweets, ice cream, chips for me, pizza, whatever the thing is that you tend to binge on, if it is keeping you from meeting your goals, then maybe don't have it in the house. It's not saying that it's off limits, but just keeping it in your house may not be an option for you, which for me, it's chips. Another big thing that aided in my weight loss is cutting out alcohol. And I know that's also not going to sound super strange to anyone, but I attribute so much of my success to weight loss to cutting out alcohol. I used to drink quite a bit, maybe a little bit too much in hindsight, but it was huge for me to first find a lower calorie alcohol, and then honestly, I just kind of slowly lost the taste for it. And now I just don't crave it nearly as often. I feel healthier, I sleep better, and I found other ways to cope that isn't alcohol, and I'm cutting out so many calories. It's crazy. And so that's been a huge help in my weight loss. So if you do drink a lot right now, or even drink daily, a couple times a week, I highly recommend cutting out alcohol, or at least limiting it to when you go out to eat or just are with other people or with friends, trying to set a goal for yourself to try to limit it a little bit. A couple other tangible things that have really helped me in my weight loss is tracking your food. And so with Weight Watchers, there's an app. You can track your food with the app. If you aren't doing Weight Watchers, you can just write it on a sheet of paper. But for me, that's been super helpful because if I see for breakfast I had a brownie, then maybe for lunch I don't need to have another brownie. Or I just feel satisfied because I know what I've eaten that day. And I realize my body doesn't necessarily need more food because it has been fueled for the day. It's crazy how much weight loss is about your mindset. Like I've said throughout this whole video, so much of it is about mindset. And so for me, when I see everything that I've eaten, I just feel more satisfied. I know that if I'm hungry, I can feed myself. It's not at all about restricting, but also knowing that I have fed myself for that day. And so I don't necessarily need to eat when I see everything I've eaten, especially making wiser choices, because I might see, oh, I haven't had any vegetables today, or I haven't had any fruit today. Maybe I should drink more water because I've tracked my water intake and see that I haven't had much water, so maybe that's why I'm hungry. So tracking could really help you see what you've eaten that day, what maybe you're missing out on that could be causing the hunger other than just food. The last piece of advice I have for you is trying to use a smaller plate size. So I got these square plates that are about this big, and I used to have plates that were about this big. I find that I just decrease my portion size to begin with. I can always go back for seconds, but a lot of it is about just seeing that the plate is full, and I find that I take smaller portion sizes, and that will obviously decrease calories and points and help you lose weight. I've always told myself I can go back for more food, But when you fill up your plate multiple times, it just has a different mind game than if you just fill it up once with a huge plate. And another thing I recommend is waiting a little bit before you go back for seconds. So waiting an hour, drink some water, see if you're still actually hungry or are you just in the habit of going back for seconds. I think it'll make a big difference when you see how much less you eat using a smaller plate size. It makes a big difference. Anyways, this was a lot of information for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe down below. If there's any way that I can support you, please write a comment. I would absolutely love to support you in any way that I can. I hope you all have a great day. Bye.